Peace. This is Waz for Waz Words Media back at y'all for another round. And fight fans, we may have just witnessed the upset of the year when heavy favorite Tszyu took on the IBF junior middleweight champion Bakram Murtazaliev. And from the gate, you knew that this was going to be an explosive fight. Murtazaliev, he's the type that comes in, it's bombs away. He doesn't shy away. You don't see him fighting on his back foot. He comes forward, and Tszyu is practically the same way. Tszyu likes to stay in the pocket and exchange, much like his father. So this was going to be an explosive fight, but unfortunately for Tszyu, it was a little too explosive, and he went down very early in this fight. I mean, he got caught with his hand down, and a clean hook, boom, sent Tszyu right down, and he never really recovered after that. He ended up eventually going down about 4 or 5 more times until, they really were trying to work with him. Like, going into the third round, they were like, listen, the ref was like, I'm not going to let this, continue any further. You got to show me something. But Murtazaliev was too much of a stalker, going straight forward, throwing bombs, heavy bombs, not shying away. This was like the first time I ever seen Tszyu really like backpedaling. It's boxing when you take a step back. Sometimes you set in traps when you take a step back. You want them to think that they got you, that they stalking you, and they got you in position that you're ready to go, and then boop, you catch them with a surprise shot. So sometimes, or that could set up a nice uppercut, but there's a difference between calculating, fighting on your back foot, and fighting on your back foot in terms of And yeah, we got the latter from Tszyu. He couldn't withstand the onslaught by Murtazaliev. So Murtazaliev goes in and defends his championship title against Tszyu, beats him in only 3 rounds. 3 rounds with about 6 knockdowns in the process. So congratulations to Bakram Murtazaliev. And now what's next is Murtazaliev, with that performance against Tszyu, 3 rounds is all it took. That has really catapulted his name up against, up on the top, the upper echelon of the 154 division, which is a hotbed in and of itself. You got guys like Sebastian Findora, the towering inferno, who's 6'7". You got Errol Spence. Errol Spence is looking to make that comeback and show the world that, he may have lost to the pound for pound #1 fighter in the world, but that doesn't mean that he's finished. He's trying to show that he's still got stuff left in the tank. So we might get a Bakram Murtazaliev versus Errol Spence. That style, oh man, based on what we saw this weekend, that will be a really great fight. We can't also forget Brian Castano, who had like a potential fight of the year with Jermell Charlo. And speaking of Jermell Charlo, we can't forget the Jermell Charlo in all of this. Just because he lost to a guy that's 2 weight classes bigger than him in Canelo Alvarez doesn't mean that he's completely out the picture when he comes back to his natural weight at 154. That's where he eats. So we got Murtazaliev, Crawford, Murtazaliev, Castano, Charlo, Spence, and of course the guy Terrence Crawford. So, and we can't forget Israel Madrimov, of course. So this division is very stacked. We're going to get a lot of great fights from the 154 division. But yep, a new star has emerged in Bakram Murtazaliev. Let's see. I know Terrence Crawford, he don't avoid no smoke. No matter how good Murtazaliev looked, I'm sure Crawford is licking at his chops to wait to get back inside that ring. And now a big potential fight against Murtazaliev. I'm sure Terrence Crawford is going to be chasing that fight down. That will be a great fight stylistically too, because Terrence Crawford he's proven it time and again, moving up in weight multiple times. Every time he moves up, he's never gun shy. He just uses his IQ and he gets the job done. You know, similar to Floyd Mayweather. That's all I got for now. I'm Waz for Waz Words Media. Peace.